Well, just again a good game. I thought it was a tale of two halves Saturday. I thought first half we talked about it after the game. I thought we really played well defensively in the first half. I thought the second half we played really well offensively. Um, I thought certainly our guys battled for 60 minutes and we had some plays that we left on the field, but give Rice credit. They played hard and just a hard fought W and glad to get it.
Questions?
Coach, Nick talked after the game about how he felt like he had a perfect pocket all night long. You could just kind of speak to
I thought we protected well. We did. We protected well, and we made some dynamic plays, which were big plays in the game. Alanze and Nick connected, but I talk about it takes 11 for that to happen. Up front we blocked well, running backs we blocked well. Nick delivered the ball, and Alanze did a good job of catching and running with it. But those were huge plays. Julian had a big play too. Certainly was a difference maker play. But again, I was pleased with that, and I thought, especially in the second half, I thought we really had some tremendous plays offensively.
Coach, you talked a little bit about it before, is how teams have thrown different defenses at Nick than what they have shown to this point in the season. Did Rice kind of do the same thing?
They did. They had some wrinkles. I think that's kind of commonplace. You're always going to get a wrinkle or two. Nick's a smart quarterback, and he was able to take advantage of some situations, and again, some pretty balls. He delivered a great time on a couple of those balls to Alanze.
The message from Coach Dawson last week, he wanted to find dependability almost more than ability. So, having seen especially what Nick and Alanze did, is it safe to say at least?
Well, we always talk about the biggest room in the world is room for improvement. We got to continue on. Certainly there's a lot of things we got to clean up on both sides of the ball. But it's a game where we did some good things with dynamic plays, but certainly we got to continue to work the precision, and that's part of the journey through the season. I don't think you ever wake up and say, oh, we're there, we're doing it all great. It's just not the reality.
But do you see through the season?
Certainly, I thought certainly, yeah, certainly. I think we're making steps, but we're still kind of on that search, and I think that's part of the journey.
It's been 2 games now since the offense kind of had a slow start in the first half. Curious to know, do you do anything a little differently this week in preparation?
Well, not really in preparation. I thought we had a chance to get off to a fast start. Unfortunately, we had the turnover there right off the get-go, which we were driving the ball. It was a nice run, nice play, and that certainly, it could have been bang, bang, 2 scores on 2 possessions, but the reality was at the end of the first quarter, we'd only scored 3 points, what I'm saying? But we had our opportunities. We just have to take care of those opportunities and just make sure we take advantage of it.
Coach Peck says third down is the money down for the defense, and Southern Miss is kind of rolling in the dough, it seems like.
Well, we're gonna knock on wood right there, but I think certainly it's always a big down because it's if you hold there, you give your offense a chance to get back on the field, but first and second are critical too, because a lot of times if you get behind the chains, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot easier on 3rd and 1 than it is on 3rd and 16. So we have to make sure that again we do a good job on all 3, but 3rd is always a big down.
All game long, it seemed like their quarterbacks had nowhere to go with the ball. I mean, where do you rank the defensive line performance amongst all the others?
I think the defensive line has played well. I really do. I think they played well. Dylan had another really good game. He was our defensive player of the week. Alanze was our offensive player of the week, and it's those guys have done a good job. Keeping pressure on. That's what we need. That's the reality of football, and those guys have played well.
Coach, 4 games in the season, at this point in the year, how would you rank the halftime adjustments of both your offense and defense?
Well, you're always at halftime, Lanny, adjusting, trying to correct the mistakes you made, let them know what's happening, what we have to do. I think we've done a pretty good job this season. I thought offensively Saturday we did a good job defensively. I wasn't quite as pleased, you know what I'm saying, with some of the adjustments this past week. But I think, you know, our guys have been pretty attentive and they've picked up on what we're trying to do.
UTSA lost 3 games in a row now. When you look at this team, what jumps out to you the most, and are you at all bothered, I guess would be?
They're a very talented football team, and you know, again, you look at Arizona State, Colorado State. I mean, those are games they could have won, you know. And then you look at certainly hard opened up at home with a W, and then could have won at Old Dominion. You know, that was a hard-fought game. You know, so the reality is we know we got a really good football team that we got to prepare for, a talented football team. So, you know, you're in conference play, you know, each and every week. You know, you got to be ready to play.
Are there any other players on your team more offensively, defensively that jump out to you?
Well, there's quite a few. You know, I think they're talented. You know, I think they're, again, they have playmakers. You know, the quarterback does a great job. The running backs, wide receivers make plays. I think offensively they fly around on defense, you know, and are very aggressive. So, I mean, yeah, we know we got a good football team. We have to play.
Coach, it's your first year here, but we're 6 games into the season. Are you feeling at home at this point?
Well, I mean, take football out of it, I feel at home at Hattiesburg anytime. But when you're in the grind of football, you're just kind of in that grind right now. You know, you just know the next week is the next week, and that's kind of the reality, I think, of the way all coaches live. You know, I mean, one's down, but now we move on to the next one. So I don't think you ever really sit back and think about anything other than the next opponent, and that's just kind of the reality of the life that we're in right now. But certainly, you know, I said taking football out of it. I mean, you know, it's definitely again home to me. But you know, we're in the middle of football season, so we're in the middle of the work grind right now.
Frank Wilson, the coach over there, I believe it's his first year ever as a head coach. What do you know about his background?
Well, Frank's done a tremendous job everywhere he's been. You know, he's been an excellent football coach, excellent recruiter. You know, so he has my utmost respect, and certainly, you know, just know. I mean, I know we're going to play an outstanding football team, and know that hey, we've got to be prepared and ready.
Coach, if you take Nick, for example, before the season, you said you were really impressed with him, but you hadn't played a game with him yet. And so now, 5 games in with everybody, how have you kind of adjusted to know what your players can and can't do on the field?
Again, we could be here for an hour if I want to talk about positives of Nick Mullins. You know, I mean, Nick is a guy that, again, makes plays for us. He's a leader. He's a cool guy. You know, he doesn't get flustered, and you know, he's just a joy to coach. You know, you're fortunate and blessed when you're able to coach guys like Nick Mullins. You know, so again, like I said, we can sit here. We've not enough time on Sports Show to talk about all the positives of Nick Mullins.
Who was your special teams player of the week?
Well, right now we're kind of going in. We got Parker, and I was also thinking about Walden. You know, so I'm kind of battling that out. That's why I didn't mention that earlier. I hadn't completely made the final decision right now, but those 2 guys played really well.
Is it crazy to think that you had somebody go for almost 600 yards and didn't get the player of the week?
Yeah, that is. As a matter of fact, Jack came up to me Sunday and we were talking about that. It's both of them have been, you could give it to either one. You know, I mean, you could give it to Jack. I mean, you could give it to Alanzay. You couldn't give it to Jack. We could give it to Alanzay or Nick. You know, we could give it to either one of those guys. But, you know, it's just unlike, I mean, we felt, you know, again, you'd like to give Cole. We're only able to give one, but I mean, Nick's probably won it 8,000 times, so it's good to let Alanzay get it. But again, really the whole offense gets it because the offensive line's got to do their job, you know. And that's the thing about football; it's a team game. Nobody gets anywhere by themselves, but you know, we have to pick one. So I think his performance was kind of an unusual one and deserved it.
Coach, on that final drive, when you're kind of just running out the clock trying to get the game over with, Nick being so deep, were you aware how close he was to the 600 and how close Alanzay was to the 300? And if you had him, would you have tried to get him there?
No, we would have just I learned a long time ago, Lanny. I mean, we're not going to try to stick it in or throw it for a stat. You know, maybe that's my old school in me. I mean, I think when the game's over, you take the knee, you win the game. You know, you don't. You know, it's about the team. It's not about it's not about an extra yard here or there. And again, we probably threw the ball how many times on Saturday? You know, a ton, and had plenty of opportunities. But to me too, you got to end the game with class a little bit. You know, I mean, and that's just the reality of, to me, sportsmanship.
Coach, you talked about it, haven't played the perfect game, probably never played a perfect game.
Right.
But you guys have kind of been up, it's been an inconsistent game for most of these, and yet 4-1, you're doing something right.
Well, Tim, again, it's a grind. You know that. I mean, the football, and we know everybody we play, is a challenge. I mean, we're in conference play now. It's we just want to battle for 60. I know the Kentucky game was a battle. The Troy game was a battle. I mean, El Paso was a battle. Rice a battle. We know this week's going to be a battle, and that's what we have to do. We just have to battle for 60. And we made some plays, and certainly there's some things we'd like to have done better. But I think that's kind of the journey of football in the football season. But glad to get out with the W last week, and just got to get ready this week.
Fleming got banged up.
Yeah, he should be fine, but got banged up a little bit. But he, hopefully he'll be fine.
Anybody else come out?
I think that's it, Jason. That's all I can think of.
What have you? It seems like Devontae Foster has progressed
Mhm.
very well. It seems like he's playing better every week. Would you say that's?
Yeah, I think he's done. I think he is. I really do. I think that's an accurate statement. I think he's really playing pretty good football right now. I've been pleased with Devontae.
Nick gave a lot of credit to the offensive line Saturday, in particular Cameron Thomas.
Mhm.
What's Cameron mean to that?
I tell you, he's a guy that just kind of sets the table for us, and he's a guy that, again, not only an excellent football player, but a real smart young man that is a leader up front. And so, again, Cam and Nick, they've been playing together for a long time. So there's a lot of, chemistry between those two, and they do a great job together.
Coach, a couple more games like the one Nick had, I mean, might take a little longer, but I mean, he's really starting to creep up on some of those Austin Davis records, and I know he probably hardly thinks about that in the middle of the season, but what kind of stuff does that mean to him?
To be honest with you, Nick is a team guy. It probably doesn't mean as much as most people would think. I can remember after the game, I didn't even know, to be honest with you, I knew we had a few big plays, but I had no idea, like Lanny mentioned, I had no idea that it was close to 600 yards. I was thinking we were somewhere in the mid-4s or something. And I think after the game, somebody told me, so that was a new school record. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know that. And I'm walking out of the dressing room, and I said, Nick, it just told me you threw for a school record. And he just kind of shrugged his shoulders and was like, that's Nick. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna sit there and worry about those things. He's a team guy, and he's always going to put the team first, and that's what you got to love about him when you're a coach, because it is always the team first. That's the reality.
You mentioned it after the game in the comments, but talk about just in terms of they were determined to kind of contain that run. They had a lot of
Yeah, I think that we want to be a balanced football team, Tim, and I think that allows you to be a balanced football team, because I think, to be balanced, you have to take what they give you, and that's the reality of it. And so hopefully that's, again, each week's a different week, but that's what we have to be able to do.
But there's some teams that may not be able to,
That's right. That's right. That always helps. It certainly does. There's no question about that. That's one thing to me about being balanced, because if it just kind of it helps you with those type scenarios.